Lee Moore, we are back for another week. This time we're outdoors in the lovely coolish weather. I can tell you what, it's that cool. I've got 2 extra places to hang stuff off at the moment. But look, last weekend, Gavin Payne, the Tigers are outstanding in the first half. We'll go on to the second half. Story of the season.
Yeah, it has been the story of the season, John, and it's like, they've been very good for patches of games, certainly leading up to the 40, 50, 60-minute mark, but then just fall away. There's some circumstances around that, obviously, which obviously JB's trying to resurrect, but at the moment, not able to.
There's no denying their character and effort. It's just something that's not quite, you can call bad luck or whatever it is and have a bad season. But I think obviously at the back end of the day, they try hard, and then because they're out of position, they're probably a little bit mentally gassed in the back end.
Yeah, and a little bit of an experience as well, like with the injuries and the situation, which a lot of teams are in with the COVID situation and their feeder clubs from down south and so forth, obviously with Melbourne associated with the Tigers. So it's just difficult to fathom exactly why, but certainly they'll be looking to finish stronger.
Well, and it's a funny game, rugby league, isn't it? We look at the Colts flying along, and all of a sudden they get absolutely pounded in the first half. Came back in the second half, but you just don't know what turns up in rugby league. It's a wonderful game.
Younger fellas tend to have mind wanders more than older fellas, you would imagine. So so they are harder to coach the younger that they are, I find anyway.
Do you find that there's a little certain amount of arrogance and complacency that drifts into the Colts? A younger player's game?
I think they can get comfortable with their positions if they've been there for a while, and if there's not the depth of challenging for them, they can get a bit, as I say, comfortable, and then they sort of fall back into old habits and so forth. But the challenge is what it's all about. 5
games to go in that competition. Is it a kick up the backside for Mark Liddon's boys? They're 3 points behind the Seagulls in first place. So. Look out Norths maybe this weekend.
Yeah, look, I don't think Glitter won't be happy with it, obviously, but he won't mind it because it is a reminder that we're only as good as our last game, and their last game was probably by his standards and their standards this year reasonably poor. So I expect they will refocus and reset to head towards the finals and come in strong.
North Devils this weekend, 5 p.m. kick-off over at Bishop Park, and the Colts are playing at 2:10, I think. So get over there and watch both sides. The Devils undefeated, mate, for now. They might get a shock against the Tigers this weekend, but are they a side that if they wouldn't mind, Rowan Smith wouldn't mind them getting a loss under their belt either?
It's about consistency, I think, and they've been very consistent, obviously, by judging by their position on the ladder and the form that they've been in. Losses are never good, especially the closer you get to finals. So if you're going to have one, there's no such thing as a good loss, but it can't do any harm, I suppose.
Yeah, Jack Ahern and the boys. It'll be a tough assignment. We caught up with John Buchanan and Mark Liddon, and we've got a special guest. He hasn't been on for a while. He is alive. We did find him. We prized him out of his the war room over there. You got a special guest this afternoon?
Yeah, just CEO Brian Torpey comes out to have a bit of a chat to us, give us an update on the Tigers season to date from his view, and also a little update on the Firehawks bid.
All right, we are at Totally Workwear Stadium. We haven't got any players for you this evening because they're obviously over at Nathan. This place is still under quarantine until later in the week. So they're letting us in here. They don't care if we die, but that's just another story. So Lee Moore, we'll be back very soon with John Buchanan. All right, Lee Moore, we're outside because John Buchanan's going to go over to Nathan to do some more training. Last Friday night, mate, down at Burleigh. Good first half. Second half, it's the tale of the season pretty much.
Yeah, it is, mate. I think if we could put our finger on why that is the case, then we wouldn't be in this position. But, look, we have plenty of effort in what we're doing. We're just... for one reason or another, we're not being able to go on with the result or get the result. There's probably a couple of things in the game last Friday night. To be fair, we're probably totally against a run of play that sort of got Burleigh, a fair bit of momentum. Which is unfortunate. I think when you're down on a little bit of form, a little bit of luck, you need those sort of things to go your way. And I just, probably at the moment we're working hard to try and get those things to swing, but we're just not getting the result on the end of it.
Yeah, Zach Croft scores a fortuitous try and that sort of stuff. But what did you say at half time? Because you're leading 18. You've led for a couple of games. What did you say at half time?
We've led a fair few, to be honest. Look, mate, everyone will go, what are you saying at half time? But
what are the players saying?
It's not. Normally our chats are the same whether we're up by 10 or we're down by 10. So we're just. I think it's been the common trend this year that just little momentum swings in the games. We're just not good at stopping it. With a real good defensive set or a real strong attack set or coming out of yardage. We just need to be better through those crucial moments, which killing us. Like the other night, Burley scored 2 tries from kicks. To be fair, I don't think we could have defended him any better. They've just come up with 12 points off the back of 2 kicks. And then off the back of one of our kicks down the far end, they get the bounce of the ball, and instead of us defending them off their line, they're playing the ball 10 metres off our line, and they score off that as well. So, just as I said, when you're down a little bit on luck, it's sometimes hard to swing it.
What's the old saying about Chinaman's grave or something like that? You're just bad luck, mate.
Yeah, well... Yeah, it is, I suppose. But, mate, we'll be right. We just got to hang in there and try and stay positive with the group. And, we'll eventually we're going to get a win. I
don't understand what's happening. The line defence of all competitions just seems to go out the back door at the moment. Is that a worry about giving six away, or what's the go? Or we need the gridiron coaches to come in and get that line set on the line?
Oh, look.
And I'm talking about just the Tigers. I'm talking about everybody.
I think I might have touched on it earlier in the year, mate. If you get momentum with the footy, it's extremely hard to stop. We've been in that position earlier in the year when we've had it ourselves. Look, I think everyone knows I'm not a massive fan of the 6 again call. It is what it is, though, and we've got to try and react to it. And I don't think that's hurt us the last few weeks. But
generally speaking, most sides when they're inside that 10, they seem to score points.
Yeah, well, they do, mate. Yeah. But it is. I suppose it is what it is. We just got to try and be better at it.
Bishop Park, North, undefeated. At the moment, they're undefeated.
Oh, they're a good team. I mean, we played them round 1. Everyone saw what they could do round 1. Probably lost a few of those guys, but they've added a lot throughout the year. Probably been really aggressive in that market when players have become available. What they've lost, they've probably made up for, and what they've brought in. Yeah, they play a great brand of footy. Going to be a massive challenge for us, but hopefully we turn up with a really good attitude and give ourselves a chance.
All right, I spoke about this last week. What's happening with the bubble? This is early in the week. No idea.
No, we're hoping to find out today. But we're no clearer at the moment. But hopefully restrictions might be lifted later in the week, and we might have a few back if that's the case. All right, mate.
Well, injuries or anything from last week? Or anybody coming back?
Jack Svensson, a little bit of an ankle issue. I think everyone else is fairly good.
All right, mate. Well, it's the North Devils. Get out to Bishop Park and check it all out. And Nathan, mate, we're outside. You missing old Totally Workwear?
Yeah, I enjoy it here. I'm not sure. Maybe this week and then we're back. So again, it's just on whether the restrictions are lifted. If they're lifted, then we come back to our facility, which would be great.
All right, mate. All the best of the weekend. Thanks for talking to us on League More, JB.
No worries. Thank you.
Glitto, you went north. You were a little bit apprehensive when he went up there. You were a little bit concerned at the opposition, and they came away with a win. The opposition I'm talking about.
Yeah, they were pretty good, the boys from Rocky. I was a bit disappointed in our Blakes. They warned all week that they were undefeated at home and they needed to show up, and if we weren't careful, they'd ambush us, and they certainly did. They led 28-10 at half time, and we had a little chat at half time. I didn't blow up or anything at half time. I just explained where we needed to be better, and to our credit, we got ourselves back into it. 28-22 at just after half time, and unfortunately at the last minute they got a try off a kick, and we stopped swinging after that, what was extremely disappointing.
Is that, they talk about a kick up the backside that you probably need? I don't believe in that myself, but they exposed spots that you were aware of and you warned the boys about?
Oh, look, they were warned. You can only talk to them so much about that sort of stuff. Our attitude was poor, our intent was poor, and we've set certain standards this year, and them standards weren't there. In particularly defensively, I thought we were all over the place. And the problem is when things don't go our way, rather than try and fix them as a whole, blokes try and do their own thing, and it doesn't work that way. So they need to be smarter than that. We're sitting down for a video session tonight. I'll have a little chat to them about a few different things, and we'll work out where we went wrong and how we fixed it, and probably the first thing is in their attitude.
So with the Capras, obviously go up against North this weekend, but did you find something that was glaringly obvious that you hadn't seen before from the boys? I mean, they obviously broke rank and didn't do what you told them to do at half time, or did they? Well, actually, I think they did reply to you in the second half.
They did early in the second half, but look, I got a couple of little inklings during the week. I thought we trained really well Thursday night. Friday night we were a bit disappointed, and I thought I smelled a little bit of complacency, and I reckon that had a little bit to do with it. But take nothing away from the opposition. They come out, they ran hard, they tackled hard, and they just did that better than us. And at the end of the day, they got the result.
No injuries?
Couple of niggles. Nothing major that I'm aware of. I'll know more tonight when I get to training. So,
all right, you're back at home. You're up against the North Devils. So you're actually playing before Cup, which hasn't happened for a while. You're looking forward to that. The boys getting out there and then sticking around afterwards.
Oh, definitely. Actually, we're over at Bashup. We're playing at Bashup this week. So, when you said home, you obviously meant Queensland. So I was thinking, here at Langlands Park, But yeah, look, Bashup Park, I spent a bit of time over there as a coach, so I'm looking forward to it. I've done a little bit of video on the opposition today, and they're a pretty good footy side, actually. They play a bit of a different brand of footy. There's a lot of ball movement, a lot of offloads, similar to probably the Ipswich Jets a little bit. Yep. So pretty free-flowing sort of attack. So if we're not on defensively, we get our pants pulled down again, so we just need to be a little bit better in that area.
Discipline, how was that on the weekend?
Beg your pardon, I missed that.
Discipline?
Our discipline wasn't too bad. It was just that little area of, as I said, intent when we run the footy. There was none of that. We weren't hitting holes. We weren't hitting lines. There was zero push around the footy, what comes from effort. Our kick chase was poor, which again comes from effort. So the effort areas weren't up to it, and it all comes back to attitude. And if I can get that right this week, well, I can't get that right. They've got to get that right. If they get that right this week, we're certainly being of a show against the Devils.
I'll just take John Buchanan. Good work by Cup. Balimba had a win on the weekend, and the Carina boys went nicely.Maybe we're starting to turn. I know it's at the wrong end of the season there, but as a club generally, the Brisbane Tigers seem to be starting to find a little bit in the tank as we don't get out of pitch, mate, because everybody wants to see this beautiful face. It's starting to grow a little bit. Injury, people come back from injuries and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
look, we're starting to get a few back here and there. Problem is you get a few back and you lose a few. But this week I'm not sure where John's at with injuries. He might have told you that, and probably we're waiting on a phone call from the Melbourne Storm to find out whether we get some of our affiliated players back. So that'd be a big help if we do, but there's no promises. We just have to stay positive and see what happens. I think Balimba were pretty good on the weekend. I watched a little bit of video on them, and a couple of my blokes actually played and went quite well. So that's a real positive, young blokes playing against men every now and again.
All right, mate, all the best for the weekend, and hopefully no more complacency. Set sail. How many rounds you got? I've
got 5 games left, so we're sitting in second spot. Yeah. So see what happens, mate. At the end of the day, it's up to the boys. If they get their attitudes right, we'll go all right.
Let's bang out some cliches week by week. Take every game as it comes, all those sort of things.
You could throw all that in. At the end of the day, if we don't tackle, we don't win.
There's another one. Put that one down. Well done, Mark Glidden for first. There you go, here on League and More. Glenn, all the best this weekend. Good luck at Bishop Park, mate. Yeah, back to where you coached many years. How many years ago was that now?
Was it? How many years was I there? 5 years I was there, and I left there in 2017.
You're still spoken about in hushed tones over there, Glitter.
Well, possibly.
There's still photos of you on the wall with farm animals. All right, mate. All the best on the weekend. Cheers.
I hope you cut that out.
Welcome back to League and More, joined by Brisbane Tigers CEO Brian Torpey. We're doing a bit of outdoor recording this afternoon, Brian. So beautiful afternoon in beautiful Brisbane.
Beautiful sunny afternoon down here at Totally Workwear Stadium, Langlands Park, and we're standing in front of our heritage grandstand, of course, which has been around in Langlands since about 1937.
Just after you were born, mate.
Yes, so, exactly.
Mate, just going to get a sort of a mid to late season check-in on the Tigers. Obviously not the season that you were looking for. There's some mitigating circumstances around that, though.
Yeah, look, we probably didn't sign the biggest squad number-wise this year. Probably our first year without having reserve grade. So we didn't have a huge squad, and we had a lot of youth in that squad. So we lost 3 players to NRL clubs mid-season as well, which we haven't been able to get back, of course, to play with Jared Beale, Jordan Grant, and Aaron Booth. So the bubble hasn't helped with that. We can't get a couple of those to come back, and then we've had some season-ending injuries to some key players. So, but good opportunity to blood some of our younger Colts that have come up and played.
Every bad situation has a good situation. You'll be looking forward to those Colts developing further with those games and then coming into their own in the next 12 or 18 months.
Yeah, certainly. Like, for example, Joey Gilmore, the front rower, 21-year-old, he's been outstanding for us coming to first grade. So that, half a dozen games, maybe 10 games, a couple under the belt will do him the world of good coming in for 2022.
So what do you look forward to? You mentioned not signing enough players. What are you looking to change, to alter, to make sure that next year's a better year than this season's been for the Tigers?
Yeah, we'll probably look to fulfil our quota of 32 to 34 players, and maybe the younger guys who are eligible for Colts will stay into the 32 in the Colts roster. So we'll be able to get a bit more depth in the side and make more players available, not just for us, but also if they're not playing for the Tigers, they go back play for Trina or Blimba.
Yeah. I know John will talk about it later with Glitto, but the Colts have been a success in their own right this year. Unfortunately, a loss on the weekend, but they've been going quite well throughout the rest of the season. Yeah,
no, Mark Liddon's doing a great job with the Colts. So they're moving on quite nicely. So, like any young side, they can be a little bit up and down sometimes, and maybe not as consistent as what older players can be. But we're happy with that squad, and they're going well. So hopefully they'll push deeper into the final series.
You have a nucleus of those players coming back. There's not a lot of 21-year-olds in that squad. Is that correct?
There's about 5 or 6 that'll probably look to come up in the higher grade. So, but there's a nucleus there that'll look to play again, and then we'll look to add through for our 18 side.
Good grounding again for going forward for the club.
Exactly.
On to the other topic, mate, that's very hot at the moment. I know there's been a little bit of a delay with the COVID situation. Give us an update on the latest with the Firehawks bid.
Yeah, so that's been delayed. So we're hoping to present last month. That's been postponed to July. That more likely that might happen now, the end of August. So, and it's probably an opportunity that they might wait till the end of the restrictions before we can all meet together and do presentations in person, which I think is a preferred option. So it may push out the commencement year to 24, but we haven't had any confirmation of that.
That would probably be a good thing to just have that delay for that extra season, do you think?
I think as the decision gets delayed towards September, maybe October, then you've only really got 12 months to put that squad together. So I think that would give us mainly 24 months then. So that would probably maybe a preferred option.
Yeah. Just quickly back to the remainder of the season for the Brisbane Tigers. What do you think Coach John Bellamy's looking for? JB's looking for, I shouldn't say, not John Bellamy. He's an old guy.
I'll tell you what he's probably looking. He's probably looking for a better second half. I think how many games we've probably led at half time.
Yeah, true.
Just how many seem to get over the line in that back half. So, the team's spoken about that. We spoke about that on Friday night after Burleigh. We were leading Burleigh last week. We led the Capras before. We led Ipswich before that. So it's just a matter of probably closing out games, which we haven't been very good at. So, but maybe that comes with experience with a lot of younger guys.
Yeah.
But hopefully we're looking to get a couple of players back in the next couple of weeks, so strengthen us up for the back end of the year.
Terrific. All the best for that, Brian. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Hopefully you get a couple of wins under the belt and finish the season in good status. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, that's a bit of a wrap, shorter episode this week, Painey, with Brian Torpey. Yeah, interesting in the squad, probably not as big as he wanted.
Yeah, look, he mentions that I'm not sure what exactly that means. Obviously, they've got a certain amount that they can sign. Clearly, they haven't signed the full quota. Looking to correct that next year. They've had an unfortunate year this wise with injuries and so forth, as we documented during the chat. So, look, they've tried hard, as we mentioned as well. They'll be better for the run, and those young kids that are coming through that are getting that experience as well will also be better for that run when they come up and play grade next year. Yeah, 3 of those players obviously going to the NRL, so obviously doing the pathway, doing the right thing for the Melbourne Storm. Not that they need any help at all, but the Colts this weekend, bounce back, you would think, against the Devils. Yeah, I'm expecting they'll come back strong and hard. I don't think there'll be 2 losses in a row. They're a very good side. All right, this weekend, just remember Bishop Park, you've probably still got to mask up. This is early in the week. I'm not really sure what the restrictions are, but mask up and check in. Let's keep the competition going. This is the rugby league capital of the world right now because nowhere else is safer than Queensland. Correct. Wouldn't want to be in Tokyo.
You wouldn't want
unless
to
you're a
take-
swimmer.
Cheers.